In Part 2, join frustrated students from the future as they analyze the tragic loss of Earth's natural beauty. Uncover powerful strategies and solutions we can all learn from and adopt today to pave the way to a brighter future. Okay, everyone, please take a seat and get out your VR headsets, Dr. Valencia said. In last week's class, we saw how human greed and apathy led to the brink of environmental collapse in the 21st century. As we begin the 22nd century, it is heartbreaking to contemplate the vast loss of the planet's natural beauty, which has rapidly destabilized the planet. This generation bears the consequences from past mistakes. Today, we'll explore the reasons behind the world's environmental destruction and what we can learn from them to build a brighter future. To comprehend why humans committed such significant errors in their development of civilization, we must examine how our society and culture compelled us to overlook the environment. Dr. Valencia expanded on the challenges posed by short-term political cycles, explaining how governmental structures, driven by election pressures, often prioritized immediate results over long-term environmental strategies. The screens were filled with the empty promises of past political campaigns, all promising immediate economic prosperity with little consideration for the environment. Next, the entire class watched as 3D graphs soared upwards, their red and black lines symbolizing the profits of a capitalist model, but failing to account for the environmental destruction that occurred from an unsustainable pursuit of profit. While capitalism has spurred innovation and prosperity, this is the reality, Dr. Valencia said. It is a system that incentivizes the exploitation of natural resources, often at the expense of long-term environmental sustainability. Dr. Valencia paused, allowing her words to sink in. Then she continued, her voice now strong and determined. But we must not despair. Businesses can be forces for positive change. We need to realign our systems so that environmental sustainability becomes a vital metric for business success. It is time to create a new capitalism, she said. A capitalism that is not driven by greed, but by compassion and responsibility. A capitalism that puts the planet and its people first. Next, Dr. Valencia exposed the influence of misinformation. Has anyone heard of greenwashing? The smart desks of all the students suddenly flashed green to indicate their knowledge of it. Very good. Greenwashing was rampant in the early 21st century and caused public confusion and delayed climate action. Essentially, it is a form of marketing deception in which companies make false or misleading claims about the environmental benefits of their products or services. A large advertising campaign flashed around the huge screens in the room. It was an advertisement from a major oil company depicting a lush green forest and a clear blue sky. The text claimed that the company was committed to environmental protection. The whole class rolled their eyes and shook their heads in disbelief, reading the blatant hypocrisy and dishonest words of the oil company's claims. They knew that big oil companies were actually one of the world's leading polluters and major contributors to global warming. They also knew that the oil industry's lobbying efforts had unfortunately been instrumental in blocking meaningful climate action when it was needed. Next, Dr. Valencia displayed montages of global advertising campaigns from the past, showing images of the latest fashion trends, luxury cars, and high-tech gadgets. Consumerist culture also had a major impact on the environment in the 21st century, when the planet was still learning to develop sustainable practices. The allure of the new, the better, and the now often blinds us from the long-term costs of our actions, she said. The pressures of consumer culture, coupled with social expectations and a deeply ingrained fear of scarcity, encouraged people to buy more and more. We need to recalibrate our values and understand the full life cycle of what we consume. Remember, every purchase is a consumption of the Earth's resources in some way. A virtual tour began, showcasing bustling cities with dwindling forests on the horizon. Dr. Valencia's voice echoed through the classroom as she spoke. This is the manifestation of our disconnection from nature. Surrounded by concrete jungles and sterile asphalt landscapes, many have lost touch with the natural world, making it easier to overlook the damage that we inflict on its silent victims. Lastly, she presented the challenges of global coordination, showcasing past international conferences where leaders debated, disagreed, and departed without meaningful consensus. The environment knows no borders. And yet, differing national agendas have made it difficult to approach its preservation as a united one-planet front. A young student named Aisha, looking frustrated, signaled she had a question. In my region, temperatures are now so high, the area my family grew up in are uninhabitable during most months of the year, and they have nowhere to go. I'm annoyed that more wasn't done to protect our future when we had the chance. Dr. Valencia met Aisha's eyes. Your anger is valid, Aisha. But our challenge is to channel that anger into action. We must learn from the past and drive systemic change. Dr. Valencia's final words carried an energy that was both sobering and motivating. Remember, she said, we might not have been the architects of past mistakes, but we are the builders of the future. Let's prioritize sustainability and redefine our relationship with the environment. The path forward is ours to pave. Pausing, she locked eyes with each student, emphasizing the importance of their individual roles. You wonder how to influence the future? Start by questioning every action you take. Ask yourself, how will this action impact the environment? If each of us took a moment to reflect on the environmental repercussions of our decisions, we could initiate a ripple effect of change. To counteract short-term political cycles, Dr. Valencia emphasized the power of the ballot. Your vote matters. Use it to support leaders who prioritize long-term sustainability over fleeting gains. Leaders who look beyond the confines of their term and see the bigger picture. She then tackled the notion of profit-driven capitalism. It's not capitalism that's the issue, but rather how it's practiced. Support businesses that are environmentally conscious. Reward companies that innovate sustainably. Remember, every dollar you spend is a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. On the point of consumerism, she displayed images of landfills overflowing with waste, contrasting against minimalistic lifestyles that prioritize experience over possession. Rethink your needs. Before buying, ask if it adds value to your life or if it's just another item that'll soon end up discarded. Consumer power can reshape industries. Regarding global coordination, she emphasized the importance of grassroots movements. Local actions have global impacts. Join or support environmental groups. Participate in international forums and amplify your voice. Global change often begins at the community level. As the lecture came to a close, Dr. Valencia left her students with a powerful tool: their voice. Engage in conversations, educate others, and advocate for change. Change starts with awareness, and your voice and actions can be the catalyst. The students rose from their seats, not just with heavy hearts, but with a fire in their souls. The past might be riddled with errors, but the future was a blank slate. Empowered, they realized that they didn't just inherit a planet in peril, they had inherited the responsibility and capability to heal it. The mistakes of the past were glaring, but the path forward, though challenging, had hope. They had a planet to save, and they were determined. If you believe in creating a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable future, then you can help by liking and sharing this video. Remember to be the change you want to see in the world. Small changes can make a world of difference. Subscribe to EcoPlanet Stories for more inspirational tales and to see our next video.